Coming up on Metro Minutes, we'll give you an update on all the traffic snarls being caused by the Congress Parkway Improvement Project.
And we'll take you to a dance festival that captures the international flavor of Chicago. And for you movie horror fans, I'll be reviewing Paranormal Activity 3.
I'm Amanda Vandeventer.
And I'm Janice Dominguez. Thank you for watching Metro Minutes.
You're watching Columbia College's very own Metro Minutes with Janice Dominguez, Amanda Vandeventer, Annie Thompson, Jade Lagosty, Tia Smith, and Safa Rahim. This is Metro Minutes.
The Congress Parkway Improvement Project has done everything but improve traffic. Here with an update on this major headache for commuters is Annie Thompson.
Though commuters face long delays at all times of day and night, this construction project promises better things to come.
Congress Parkway is one of Chicago's most traveled roadways, and for the past 2 years, commuters have faced longer trips, loud machinery, and traffic frustration caused by the Congress Parkway Improvement Project.
The construction starts at 6, and that's it's unreasonable because I fall asleep at 12.
While noise and congestion on the road is frustrating to commuters, the ultimate goal of the project is to provide a more attractive roadway into the city. Some Chicagoans even think the construction is providing something else greatly needed in the city.
The way I see it is, if they're doing construction, people have jobs, so I don't mind driving a little bit more, that's cool with me.
The Congress Parkway Improvement Project has created several jobs for people in the city, which is very important, especially considering recent economic troubles. Those recent economic troubles, though, have citizens questioning the $10 to $20 million price tag of the project.
Everyone has to make sacrifices, taxes, I guess, I'd like to see the other alternatives, that they have of paying for it as well.
Job creation has been beneficial to the city. Many commuters are feeling the stress of the construction on their morning commute.
Yes, it's very irritating to me because I come off the highway in Eisenhower, 290 there, so it's with that, they need to fix that. They need to open it because it'll make things a lot easier.
The project began under the Daley administration and is projected to be finished in spring 2012, but the project appears far from completion.
When it's done, I hope it's going to be a lot better.
Ultimately, many in Chicago feel that what will be, and find worrying about the project trivial.
A little bit more congested, but it's part of the problems of living in a city. You kind of just deal with it.
I think it'll be positive. Right now it's hell, but it'll be positive.
With winter weather and the project completion day fast approaching, workers seem to be working around the clock to finish on time. With Metro Minutes, I'm Annie Thompson.
The official deadline is early next year. It's hard to tell if they'll bring this project in on time.
Annie, have you been to the construction site? Does it look like it'll end soon?
I have been to the construction site. It's not promising right now, but hopefully they will be able to finish on their deadline.
I've noticed a lot of the sidewalks are closed, so how's that affecting the traffic flow?
Well, pedestrians are having to find new routes, which is causing more confusion and thus making the traffic more of an issue.
All right, well, thank you, Annie.
Thanks.
Groupon recently downplayed a media report by Reuters that says it's laying off 10% of its sales force. The company undertaking a new process to replace poorly performing employees. Chief Executive Andrew Mason told potential investors at a Boston presentation that Chicago-based Groupon is replacing the worst 10% of its sales employees, a group that numbered nearly 5,000 people worldwide.
The widow of a Park Ridge man mauled by a grizzly bear in Wyoming last year is suing federal government, contending that its researchers had removed signs that would have warned her husband before entering dangerous grounds. Erwin Erver was killed in a wilderness area near Yellowstone National Park, not far from where he and his wife Yolanda, a retired English instructor at Oakton Community College, kept a cabin. Rosie O'Donnell recently debuted her new program that's produced right here in Chicago, where Oprah previously did her show. One of our very own reporters, Tia Smith, went to Harpo Studios to find out what the buzz was all about.
Hey there, it's me, Rosie O'Donnell. Don't adjust your television. I'm back. It's the new me. Can you tell it's a new look? Don't miss my brand new comedy, variety, reality, talk, game show, puppet thing I've got going on. We got stars.
That's right. Rosie O'Donnell is in Chicago hoping to take the Windy City by storm. And Rosie definitely knows how to pick a location. She picked Harpo Studios to shoot her show, home of our favorite host, Oprah Winfrey. Could it be that Rosie is looking to become the new #1 talk fest across the nation?
It's hard. You can't really replace Oprah, but after 25 years of Oprah doing her show, we all understand that at some point you can't do the same thing every single day. But I wish Rosie the best. That's for sure.
I think it's great. I think fresh blood in this city is wonderful, and I wish Rosie the best of luck.
Not everyone has rosy-colored glasses when it comes to Rosie, but that doesn't mean that they won't give her a shot.
I have never really been a huge Rosie fan and really never watched the Rosie show. I was The View fan and watched it when she was on there, but I didn't follow up and really knew that she was here. So it's not in my plans, but you never know.
I plan on watching Rosie. I'm excited that she's decided to come to Chicago. There's a lot of cities that she could have gone to, so I'm welcoming her with open arms, and hopefully I'll get to see one of her shows as well.
Rosie O'Donnell's show aired September 10th with a total of 1.5 million viewers. You can catch The Rosie Show daily, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. on the OWN network. Coming up, we'll have this week's Student Spotlight.
And we'll take a look at an award-winning improv troupe here at Columbia.
This is Metro Minutes.
Joining us today for the Student Spotlight is Brandon Campbell, who's the daily news editor for popstash.com. Can you tell us a little bit about the website?
Yeah, sure. Popstash.com is a daily music news website that was started up about a year ago by myself, but I didn't do too much with the startup. But it was a group of Columbia students. We got together and we decided to start up our own website that's based around music, and we have album reviews, daily music news, things like that. And so it was a bunch of undergrads actually, and in fact Andy Kyle is our founder, and he's still a student here, and I think he's in his last semester. So yeah, it's very heavily Columbia based. So, yeah.
And where does the name come from?
Popstash, actually, the name comes from Becca James. She's our editor-in-chief, and she actually just graduated, I think, in May. And she has this weird obsession with mustaches, and it's kind of this weird hybrid of pop culture and mustache. And it's also kind of like, a stash of pop culture. So yeah, we just kind of fit the two together. It's kind of ironic, it's kind of weird, a little hipster-ish, so we liked it.
And if Columbia students want to get involved, where can they get more information?
Well, yeah, we need Columbia students. Like I said, it was the website was started by Columbia students here, and we like Columbia students, especially from the journalism program, because they know how to write and they're immersed in art culture. This is an art school, so we need people who understand music and understand how to write. So if you go to popstash.com and check out our contacts, you can email me or Andy or Becca or anybody else and send us an email, send us some writing samples, and we'd love to have you come on board.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that's it for this week's Student Spotlight.
Chicago's top ethnic groups perform in the first annual Chicago International Dance Festival. Anita Valentine takes a look at this showcase wealth of Chicago's rich cultural tapestry.
In the first annual Chicago International Dance Festival, an event that celebrates and showcases the talent and diversity of Chicago's most premier ethnic dance companies, invoking traditions from Korea, Serbia, Bolivia, and Romania, just to name a few.
This is a good way to understand and respect other culture through sharing another culture with others. So I thought this will be a great opportunity for everyone.
Well, the importance for me is I like to learn about other cultures, and then we learn about everything, and we get to learn as well as teach.
I want to use our artists, our community master artists that live here already. I just want to give them the tools that there is such a festival where you can do a real thing on the professional stage and bring it on.
The goal next year is to also include lectures and dance exchanges to help promote cultural awareness and diversity throughout Chicago communities as well as internationally. I'm Anita Valentine reporting for Metro Minutes.
Thanks, Anita. The most recent Student Alumni Association guest speaker to visit Columbia was special effects animator Marlon West. After working at Disney for 19 years, West had a lot to share with students about the film animation industry. He spoke to students about his life and career after Columbia. West also has students' insight and tips on how to properly pursue the film animation industry. During his time at Disney, West worked on such films as The Lion King, Pocahontas, and The Princess and the Frog. The Indian improv troupe at Columbia College made quite a name for itself last year by winning a national title. The question now, can they repeat? Here's Annie Thompson with the story.
Chicago has countless traditions, and when it comes to picking our favorites, Chicagoans often find themselves divided. But when it comes to comedy, in Chicago, improv is king. One Columbia College group is trying their hardest to make a lasting impression on the Chicago improv scene. Drop-In Science, Columbia College's improv team, seems to be hard at work to achieve that goal. Last year, they performed in the National College Improv Tournament.
CIT is the college improv tournament held every year in the spring, usually between January and March. And what it is a competition between colleges all around the nation and their improv teams, usually one from each college, compete for the title of best college improv team in the nation.
Drop-In Science earned first place in the Midwest CIT, earning them a spot in the finals and beating out local competitors.
The rivals that we beat here in the Chicago area this past competition was Northwestern, the Titanic Players, and we beat DePaul University's the Cosby Sweaters, and I think those are the ones that we beat that we were most worried about.
After winning third place at the CIT National Finals, Drop-In Science credits their success with the team's ability to forget about competing and get back to the fun of improv.
We had a lot of fun with the other groups because, before the competition started, we all got to meet the other teams and kind of hang out for a little bit. And then after the end of the whole thing, we had a big party, and I think 5 or 6 of the teams came out to it, and we just had a good time. We're still in contact with some of them. They come and play with us every once in a while.
Drop-In Science members might not be worried about winning or competing, but they do want to defend their national title, so they stay sharp with weekly shows and rehearsals.
Rehearsing, I think, is so important. A lot of people ask, how do you rehearse for improv? Because you're making it up on the spot. But there's game moves and these little subtleties, and learning to read the people you're playing with, and learning to just be comfortable with your team and comfortable with yourself. It's good to keep yourself fresh every week.
Improv is a dedication and love that takes practice, focus, and determination. But at the end of the day, performers keep coming back.
Sometimes you have to remind yourself that why you're doing what you're doing because you love it. And honestly, it's because I love making people laugh, and it's a really good outlet for me to entertain people.
Drop-In Science plans to compete at the National College Improv Tournament again in 2012. The group performs every Thursday at Studio B on Sheffield. Shows begin at 10:30 and cost $5 with a student ID. Reporting for Metro Minutes, I'm Annie Thompson.
Thanks, Annie. After the break, we've got some fashion tips for this fall.
And we'll take you inside the donut vault.
This is Metro Minutes.
Fall is in the air, and most Chicagoans would agree that this is the best season for fashion. Jade Legacy has the story.
For women, there is all the buzz about wide-leg jeans, sequin dresses, beaded clutches, and Lita platforms. And for the males, army-style jackets, plaids, and sweaters. The 70s are back, and that means bold colors will be flooding the streets of Chicago.
The biggest color right now is berry, and a lot of earth tones colors, such as, like the browns and the mustardy yellow, everything like that.
There is nothing ordinary about the shoe trends this season.
A lot of platform, a lot of texture, a lot of color as well. Mix and match a lot of things. Don't be too hesitant on that.
With high heels come dresses, so embrace the flowing prints.
Fashion this season is really about bright bold colors, reds, and fuchsias, and really getting that animal print involved and wearing dresses that show off not only your style and your fashion and your funkiness, but your body.
To tie an outfit together, wear a piece of statement jewelry. Fashionable women like trendy men. Akira offers shoe and women's boutiques as well as men's stores.
We got a varsity sweater.
Forrest Gregory models off the season style of sweater with big, loose collars and wooden buttons. Workwear is hot this season, including boots with wool lining.
This is the Wolverine boot.
It's very sleek. It's not so chunky like your normal average work boot.
Whether shopping for an outfit or an accessory, each of Akira's 16 locations has personal stylists to help customers find the perfect fall wardrobe. To find out more, visit www.shopakira.com.
Young girls from all over Chicagoland auditioned for a spot in Moscow's ballets, The Great Russian Nutcracker. The show premieres at Rosemont Theater on December 10th, and is a time-honored Christmas tradition for many families. Universities always strive to provide students with flavorful, healthy, and affordable foods on campus, but for American Muslim students with dietary restrictions, grubbing out has never been easy. Safa Rahim didn't find this fair and went to a dining hall at the University of Chicago to see what chefs are cooking to make eating fun and less complicated for Muslim students.
American Muslim students who follow strict halal guidelines may only eat meat that has been slaughtered according to Islamic law. These students are pleased and share their favorite foods.
They've been giving out halal gyros and halal chicken nuggets very often. Actually here I'm eating halal food every day. It's like a big change from what I'm used to. I guess my meals are more balanced too.
They make really good chicken curry. It's sort of like being at home. They're really nice. And fajitas, they have really good fajitas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have Mexican food too.
Richard Mason collaborated with Muslim Student Associations and IFANCA, the Islamic Food and Nutrition Council of America, to prove that setting up dining halls to meet Muslim student needs isn't difficult or impossible.
We're helping students find something to eat that they like. You know, it's really interesting. We started out first and thought it was going to be very ethnic. That was one of the things we kind of had in our mind. And then in talking with the students, it was, no, it's pizza, it's burgers, it's mac and cheese, it's just different. Right. American halal, as they wanted to talk about it.
The hope is that more campuses take on the trend that University of Chicago started, because 77% of student surveys prove that halal meal services aren't available on other campuses. Before this fall, students had to rotate between different dining halls to get to the halal stations, but now this station's accessibly permanent.
Even non-Muslim students are loving the traditional ethnic and American halal foods too. Chicago aldermen will introduce an ordinance to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. Supporters say this will free up police to chase more serious criminals and raise revenue for the city. People caught with 10 grams or less of marijuana will get $200 ticket and up to 10 hours in community service. So messed it up.
It may not be the healthiest breakfast, but traditionally it's one of the most popular ways to start your days. I'm talking about donuts. Tia Smith visited a new donut shop in the North Loop, and she joins us now with a story.
It was an interesting visit, and the donut shop was drawing customers from near and far.
If you're wondering why people are waiting in line, believe it or not, it's for a donut or maybe even a cup of coffee.
You know, I asked them what was going on. They said donuts. I said, you people are waiting that long for donuts? And they said, yeah, they're worth it. So I came back on my way back from the walk. I've never had one before.
Sure, you can go anywhere else, but the Donut Vault pastry chef, Patrick Addison, says there's something special about their donuts.
Ours are much larger and they're like big pillows of air. Whereas, you know, Dunkin' Donuts, you get more of a dense donut. Same with Krispy Kreme, it's a little bit more dense and it's much smaller. Do all of our posting daily on Facebook, on Facebook and Twitter. So when we open, we let you know that we're open. Throughout the day, we let you know how many people are in line, how many donuts we have left, what type of donuts we have left, what we're selling out of, how long the line is, yada, 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 just so that people know what's gonna happen before they're waiting for too long.
The Donut Vault isn't just a place where you can come and get delicious donuts and great coffee, but it's also a place where you can come and socialize with your friends.
You know, if you come with cool people, it doesn't even matter how long it is anyway, so.
These donuts are like eating a whole meal. It's wonderful.
The Donut Vault opened back in April, and ever since then, the business has been booming.
It's been non-stop since we've opened. We sell out every single day.
I suggest you head down to 400 North Franklin early to get your donuts before they're all sold out.
The Donut Vault is currently producing 800 to 1,200 donuts each day.
So Tia, do they have any unique flavors?
Yeah, they do. They actually have pistachio. I'm not too fond of it. They have a buttermilk donut that's really good. And they also have a gingerbread donut. It's really sweet and it's an acquiring taste.
Is it worth the wait?
The chocolate and the vanilla donuts are, it's different from Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts. So I would say yes, it definitely is worth the wait.
Thanks, Tia. Boston Red Sox general manager Theo Epstein left his dream job as the manager for his hometown team. Now he will try to make the Chicago Cubs a World Series winning team, just like he did in Boston. Rumors started in early October when sightings of Epstein at Wrigleyville were tweeted. That's when the suspicion that Theo was in talks with the Ricketts family began. Epstein announced he will be the Cubs' new president and reportedly signed an $18 million contract to call the Windy City his home for the next 5 years. For all of you movie horror fans, my co-anchor Janice took her life in her own hands this past weekend to give you this review. Janice?
We have learned that demons from the Paranormal Activity sequel don't like to be videotaped. In the first movie, the demon takes possession of Katie and kills Micah. The second revolves around Christy and her family, and we learned that Katie kills both her brother-in-law and Christy, and she disappears with her nephew. And in the third part, we go back to 1988 where it all began. Christy begins talking to Toby, her imaginary friend, that turns out to be the demon that haunts them. This movie is supposed to make you understand the hauntings, but it only confuses you. The movie wasn't what I was expecting, and I wouldn't recommend you paying $10 to watch it. I would wait until it comes out on Redbox. So on my list, the movie gets 2.5 stars out of 5.
He's my friend.
I don't see him.
Standing right next to you.
Honey, he's not there.
Christy begins talking to Toby, her imaginary friend, that turns out to be the demon that haunts them. This movie is supposed to make you understand the hauntings, but it only confuses you. The movie wasn't what I was expecting, and I wouldn't recommend you paying $10 to watch it. I would wait until it comes out on Redbox. So on my list, the movie gets 2.5 stars out of 5.
Okay, so Janice, did you have to sleep with a nightlight after seeing the movie?
Honestly, I had to. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was kind of scary at some parts.
Well, I'm glad it was you and not me. Thank you for reviewing the movie. I'm Amanda Vandeventer.
And I'm Janice Dominguez. Thank you for watching Metro Minutes.
You can see this again and every Metro Minutes episode at metrominutes.tv.